A decorated Navy officer sat in the passenger seat of a car, her body suddenly jerking and twisting as if something inside her had finally broken. Just moments earlier, investigators had pieced together the terrifying truth she had been hiding. Her little daughter, Taylor, was gone. And the truth about what happened was darker than anyone could have expected. What followed was a trail of lies, disturbing discoveries, and a shocking end that still chills anyone who hears it.
Wait, you need to go to medical? You want me to take it? You want me to take it to medical? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. No.
The morning of November 6th, 2019 began with a call that immediately raised alarms. Brianna Williams phoned the emergency line, claiming her 5-year-old daughter was missing from their home. The voice on the line did not sound like that of a panicked mother. It shook, it stumbled, and the words seemed almost rehearsed. Officers who responded could sense that something about her story did not feel right.
Tout commence le 6 novembre 2019, vers 7 heures du matin, lorsque Brianna Chanta Williams, 27 ans, appelle le 911.
What's going on?
I do not know where my daughter is.
When officers pressed her for more details, Brianna gave a strange account. She said she had picked Taylor up from her grandmother's home on Halloween night. It should have been a simple statement, but her words carried hesitation. Her answers shifted slightly, like someone grasping at a lie that could fall apart at any second.
Brianna affirme avoir récupéré Taylor chez sa mère en Alabama, la nuit d'Halloween. Mais les incohérences commencent déjà à s'accumuler. Elle explique que sa fille ne va pas à l'école et passe ses nuits chez sa grand-mère.
The house itself was unsettling. A place where a child should have been living, laughing, and leaving traces of her presence felt completely empty. There were no toys, no drawings on the walls, no small shoes by the door. Instead, investigators noticed stains on the furniture and the bedroom door. Dark, reddish marks that looked like something no one wanted to say out loud. For the officers, each detail added weight to the suspicion that Taylor had not been there for a very long time.
La maison se remplit d'agents venus de toute la ville. Ils fouillent pièce par pièce, mais ce qu'ils trouvent intrigue. Pas de jouets, pas de dessins, pas de photos de famille. Seulement un lit, une paire de chaussons, une boîte de crackers ouverte, un manteau et un sac à dos. Et puis, un détail les arrête. Sur la tête de lit en plastique, une trace brun-rouge.
The next step was to search Brianna's car. Unlike the lifeless house, the car carried faint traces of the little girl. A stuffed unicorn sat in the back seat, a toy far too innocent for the grim reality building around it. Investigators also found cleaning products and sneakers smeared with bits of plants. What unsettled them most was the trunk. It was too clean, almost unnaturally so, as if someone had worked hard to erase something that should not be found.
Trouveront-ils un indice ou le jouet préféré de Taylor? Dans la voiture, il y avait plus de traces de la présence de la petite Taylor que dans toute la maison. Sur la banquette arrière, un poney rose en peluche. Mais quelque chose d'autre retint l'attention d'un officier. Sans vraiment savoir pourquoi, il eut l'instinct de pencher la tête et de sentir l'air qui sortait de l'habitacle.
As police widened their investigation, the neighbors' words deepened the unease. One after another, they admitted they had never seen Taylor. A little girl living on that street should have been remembered, running, laughing, playing outside. But no one had. The neighborhood was frozen, trash collection stopped, and bags were torn open, examined piece by piece, in the hope that something inside might hold an answer.
Pour l'instant, Taylor semblait s'être volatilisée. Les forces de l'ordre lancent alors une recherche à grande échelle. Ivy Street et plusieurs rues adjacentes sont bouclées, des unités cynophiles ratissent le secteur, sans succès. Les riverains, interrogés, affirment n'avoir jamais vu la fillette.
You remember seeing a little girl here? Never.
Le ramassage des ordures.
While this was happening, Brianna sat across from detectives in an interrogation room. Hours had passed since she claimed her daughter had vanished, but she showed no signs of fear, no frantic need for updates, no tears that could not be stopped. She looked tired, almost indifferent, as if she already knew the outcome and no longer cared about how it appeared. For investigators, Her coldness was a chilling contrast to the image of a mother who had supposedly just lost her child.
La fille a disparu depuis des heures, mais elle ne montre ni angoisse, ni panique. En réalité, elle agissait déjà comme si elle savait ce qui était arrivé à sa fille. Mais les inspecteurs, rusés, ont choisi de jouer le jeu et de faire semblant de ne rien remarquer.
Unknown to Brianna, investigators had already reached out to her mother. During the call, her mother admitted something that crushed Brianna's story to pieces. She had not seen little Taylor in more than 2 years. This was the end of Brianna's claim that she had picked her up on Halloween night. For detectives, it was proof that the child had been missing far longer than her mother wanted to admit.
Any conversations with her about telling her commanding officer anything as far as you, if he calls you, that she was coming to get?
That's the part that I didn't hit. That she did, this was just last week.
Tell me about that.
Now she...
Not long after, police searched deeper inside Brianna's apartment. They turned to the closet, and what they found was horrifying. The air was heavy with a foul smell, the kind that makes your stomach turn. The walls and the carpet were marked with dark stains. Officers feared they were standing in the very place where Taylor had suffered.
A mother who pleaded guilty to killing her 5-year-old daughter will soon know her fate. The sentencing hearing for Brianna Williams started today. The former Navy petty officer called 911 to report her daughter Taylor Williams missing in November of 2019. Williams told officers her daughter had vanished from their home in Brentwood. So you saw that body cam video right there. 6 days later, a body later identified as 5-year-old Taylor Williams was found in the woods in Demopolis, Alabama, where Brianna Williams is from. And that same day, Williams tried to kill herself. She was hospitalized and then transferred to the Duval County Jail about 2 weeks later. She was initially charged with several felonies, including child abuse and neglect, but not directly with Taylor's death. Prosecutors allege Williams tortured, maliciously punished, and caged Taylor. Now, I want you to fast forward to March of this year. Williams pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, a charge she didn't originally face. She faces anywhere from 20 and a half years to life in prison. And First Coast News has been following this story for years. On your sites, Kaylee Tracy, we were on the ground. You see me there. We were both there. I remember being there when Taylor's body was found in those woods in Demopolis. And it was just such an unfortunate situation. Now, Kaylee has been in the courtroom all day as witnesses testified during her sentencing hearing. Kaylee, how did Brianna Williams appear in the courtroom today?
Anthony, Brianna Williams walked into that courtroom showing no emotion as she walked in to be sentenced for killing her daughter. She had her head down most of the day, taking notes throughout the day as witnesses testified. Brianna Williams' father sat in the rows in that courtroom as well, and we saw him shaking his head several times and giving looks of disgust while witnesses testified. Officers and detectives who interviewed Williams when she filed that missing persons report on Taylor said she acted odd and they thought her tears were forced. Detectives who searched Williams' previous South Side apartment said there was a strong smell of urine and feces. There were also soiled children's clothing and urine and blood stains on the carpet there. Williams' neighbor at that apartment said she frequently saw Taylor until April of 2019. She heard a muffled cry from a child around this time and also started smelling a strong odor near Williams' storage closet. She testified today that she never saw Taylor after that, and she said she then saw in the news that Taylor was missing.
Did you think that Taylor Williams was missing?
I didn't think that she was just missing, no. She, in my opinion, she had been missing because we had been asking her about her. My point was she didn't just go missing.
That neighbor says she did ask Brianna Williams where Taylor was. Brianna told her, she testified today in court, that Taylor was with family in Alabama. That's an answer that several witnesses today who testified said that Brianna gave them when they asked where Taylor was. Coming up at 6, I'll break down what one of the detectives who testified today said he found on Brianna Williams' computer, what she searched on that computer just a couple months before she reported her daughter missing. Reporting live in downtown Jacksonville, Kaylee Tracy, First Coast News, on your side.
Attention then shifted to Brianna's vehicle. Cadaver dogs were brought in, and what they did confirmed the worst fears. The dogs reacted strongly inside the car. Officers then searched carefully and found items that made the truth harder to deny. There were cleaning chemicals, a broken fingernail, and soil that perfectly matched roads in rural Alabama. This was no longer a missing child case. This was now the investigation of a death.
Le véhicule de Brianna fut passé au crible. Le chien détecta 3 zones distinctes, le siège conducteur, les sièges arrière et le coffre. Dans le coffre, les enquêteurs découvrirent une substance blanchâtre inconnue, un ongle cassé, un désodorisant coincé dans le couvercle et une forte odeur de produits de nettoyage. Même après un lavage,
But before the officers could move further, Brianna's actions shocked everyone around her. She ingested detergent in a desperate attempt to escape justice. While riding with a co-worker, her body shook violently. Her eyes rolled back, her voice weak, and seizures took hold of her. It was a moment of complete chaos and fear, as if her own body was betraying her secrets.
Open the door, open the door. Oh, shit. You all right? Should I have some napkins or something? You okay? Oh, shit. Yeah, take that.
When her condition stabilized, detectives turned to technology for the answers Brianna would not give. GPS data from her car showed repeated trips to Linden, Alabama. The location was close to her grandmother's cemetery, a quiet and lonely place. Search teams gathered, dividing the land into sections. With dogs and careful hands, they worked the ground until something heartbreaking appeared.
Une équipe de recherche composée de policiers, de professionnels médicaux et de chiens a été envoyée pour inspecter la zone près de Linden, en Alabama. Le terrain a été divisé en cadrans afin d'être fouillé méthodiquement. Lorsque le chien spécialisé dans la détection de cadavres a commencé.
Beneath the dirt lay a shallow grave. Inside was a child's shirt, bones, and strands of hair later confirmed through DNA to be Taylor's. The remains were not whole. They had been scattered and damaged by animals. For investigators, this made it impossible to say exactly how Taylor had died, but it was clear she had suffered from neglect and hunger before her small body was discarded.
Mais ce n'était que le début. À quelques mètres de là, les premiers os et fragments d'os ont été découverts. La majeure partie du crâne a été retrouvée un peu plus loin, accompagnée d'une touffe de cheveux humains, possiblement ceux de Taylor.
Years later, the legal process finally came to an end. In September 2022, Brianna Williams stood in court. She pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. Her military record was brought up in defense, but it could not outweigh the suffering of her daughter. The court sentenced her to life in prison.
En septembre 2022, Brianna plaida coupable de meurtre au 2e degré. Malgré les tentatives de son avocat pour obtenir une peine réduite en raison de son parcours militaire exemplaire, elle fut condamnée à la prison à vie. Si cette peine ne pouvait pas ramener Taylor, elle représentait au moins une forme de justice pour cette petite fille innocente.
Taylor's story is haunting. It shows how silent abuse and hidden neglect can end in tragedy that no child should face. A mother who should have been her protector became the cause of her suffering. Do you think life in prison is enough justice for Taylor? Or should the punishment have been even more severe? Share your thoughts in the comments, and do not forget to like, subscribe, and suggest which case you want us to cover next.